Hello. Okay. So I think I'm not sure my internet is good or not. Let's wait for one more minute and see. We can just get started. Can you go? Hey folks, can you all see my face? If there is any issues, please just let me know in the comments or chat session. Okay. Yeah, cool. We can get started. Hey folks, it's Paki Sanjay here. It's been a very long time since I posted a video on YouTube. So in this today's series, we are going to build an chat application and APIs and iOS app with ChatGPT 3. Okay, so basically probably you all know what is ChatGPT 3 is. It's basically, you can just chat with this AI and it will just give you an answer. It can be anything. So for instance, let's say if I just want to build some simple hello world program, I can just simply come here and type I'm choosing Kotlin. Yeah, now let's wait for a few more seconds and it would generate the code for you. Basically, this is how it is. It would work and it will explain you all the basic stuffs, like how you can just run this program and all the stuffs. Also, we have this cool stuff. We can simply copy paste this code by clicking on this thing. Yeah, this is impressive, right? So I'm using this app. It's an open source app called let's say you can either use this GPT chat via this chat.openai.com, or else you can just download an unofficial app which is they developed. It's an open source. I think it's yeah. So I will just share this URL on the chat. You can just download that and yeah. So basically you can just download the binaries from here and install this app. It will ask you for the prompt to log in with your Google account or whatever stuffs, and you can just sign up with this account. Now you're good to go. So basically they are using headless browser to hack this way to create this desktop application. So okay, talk is over now. So let me show you what we are going to build today with this chat GPT. Okay, so I've been using this GPT-3 for almost like 1.5 years, and we are also building our products mostly focused on GPT-3 stuffs. And Chat GPT-3 is most advanced than GPT-3. Okay, so let me give you some example. Okay, let's say now we want to build some CRUD app API. Okay, so for to do app, so you don't need to spend some extra time to set up all those infrastructures and all. So what this Chat GPT-3 will do is, I'm keep on saying GPT-3, sorry, Chat GPT. Okay, you can just come here and I'm going to choose Fastify. So Fastify is basically an backend framework where you can just write backend easily. So it's something similar to Express. So this is fastify.io, so you can just build your backend easily with this Fastify. It is some sort of similar to Express.js, but it is having some advanced concepts like schema validation and all those stuff. So they come with this all additional hooks, so that can be executed before proceeding to the API calls. So we are going to build the REST API and for the to-do app. Okay, so I will come here and just type, just briefly give some overview of what you want to exactly build to this thing. Build and Fastify API. API for an to-do app with I'm going to use Postgres for this, Postgres, and I'm going to use Prisma ORM basically, and yeah, basically that's it. And just wait for a few more seconds, and it will give you the instruction basically what do you need to exactly install all the stuffs, and it's a step-by-step introduction. So it just created the Prisma schema for us, and it is having this ID, title, and completed is equal to boolean. And yeah, this is basically a schema. And if you go here, and it is asking us to just run this migration, and yeah, basically you see it just generated this basic code, and you can just do that in a matter of seconds. So now it's actually created this it is a bare bones, which is basically a skeleton code. Now it's actually just created this all this boilerplate code for you. So now let's try to copy this exact same code in VS Code and try to check if it is working or not. Okay, okay, so I'm going to close this. I'm going to open up my terminal, and so let's come back here, come back to our chat. Okay, now it is asking us to use this thing. Let's copy, and let's pay. I'm going to create cd I'm going to create a new project on this thing. I don't think we need to install this Prisma thing. So basically it is giving us a wrong Prisma npm models. So I have a dot file, so I will do that. So now we have installed our dependencies for this API. So now let's go to now run this command npx prisma init basically. So I'm going to copy this, and let's go here. Yeah, now it is actually generated the schema for us. Now let's go back to our VS Code, and I'm going to open this folder. So I think, yeah, this one. Okay. Now let me again install this. Okay, so I'm going to install this thing again. So and we don't need this thing. Sounds good. Now let's go back and see, are we in the right folder? Okay. It is throwing us some error, I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure why it's not okay, let's go back and create a let's create a new project here, and okay, so basically let's make the Okay, so okay, now let's open this thing in VS Code. Fastify API. Is it something related to it? Why it's not actually weird. Okay, let's try this out and see if it is working or not. I think I'm missing something. Okay. Yeah. It is showing us the error. I'm not sure. So basically, let's specify TypeScript. Okay, let's do this thing and see. Let me clone this thing. Okay. Okay, so now let's open this and try to add all the dependencies which is necessary to create the APIs. So let's go here and open a new Fastify starter template. Okay, so we have this basic setup. Now let's go back to our ChatGPT and let's try to install all this necessary plugins for us. So instead I will just install Prisma plugins here directly from here, and okay, so I have installed this Prisma plugins which is necessary to create the schema. Okay, now we need to init the schema, so I'm going to paste this thing. Now if we come back and see, it is actually generated the schema. Okay, so from here onwards I will just basically copy everything from here. Just copy this to the schema. I'm going back to my, basically let's do this thing, and okay, so I'm going to copy this thing. Let's paste this here, and we need to migrate this. So basically let's migrate that. And it is asking us for the localhost Postgres DB URL. So basically you need to have the Postgres running on your database. So let me start my maybe this one, create a new server. And yeah, so we have this thing, and let me go back to my post ICO, so which is basically so database. I'm going to use Postgres by default, so user is going to be a Spike, okay, and password hello world. So now let's connect, and I'm going to copy this Postgres instance provision URL from here, so that we can just go back to our code, and in this environmental variable I can just directly replace this thing. Okay, so cool. Now let's try to run the migration, the code which we got from the GPT-3 and bricks migrate tab, and we are just basically initting. Yep. And now let's go back. If we go back to our database and connect it, you can able to see the to-do schema here. Yeah, so we have this to-do schema. You can just add any to-dos, like let's say one, and this is going to, and by default it's going to be false. Let's change this. Okay, now let's try to fetch this thing in our VS Code. I think, okay, so we are in this index.thing. So basically come here, and I'm going to copy this code. Yeah, this one. Let's copy this. We don't need. Let's come back here. Now let's server dot. So we are going to get the to-dos. So let's copy this to-do. Basically this one. Oops, it's not copying. Yeah. So this is, I'm going to replace this with Fastify or else app maybe, and come here and replace everything with the app dot register. Okay, now we have this thing. So let's go back to the package.json, and yeah, let's it is actually having tons of other stuffs. Let me open my I think this one. I'm going to basically copy all the scripts. Yeah. Now let's try to run this thing. So we are facing some error. Just because we don't need I think so. Let's okay, so the issue is with the starter template, and I think this is the problem. Okay, so it seems like it is messing up with this scripts files, but that's okay. Things can happen. Let's try to focus on exploring the stuff. Okay, coming back here, I can just write test get all to-dos. So if you just see, it will just basically write you the test as you see. It is actually just taking the schema which we defined in the top. So ID title completed, and you see it is basically mocking the test, and it is showing this is how you need to test. Cool. And now let's try to add some JWT authentication. And implementing JWT authentication, it's super hard, especially you're working in a web. So this ChatGPT can able to do that in a matter of seconds. So let's do that. Add our API. So in a single line of this thing, it will just install this Fastify JWT plugin, which is the plugin from their own ecosystem, and it is registering all this necessary things which is required for the JWT. And now if you just see, it is actually creating the login route for us, username, email, as well as the password, and it is just creating the unique signing the token and just sending back to us. And this is thing. And if you just watch this carefully, we have this interesting thing which is going on here. Fastify is having this pre-handler hook where whenever you are just making a new request, it will just basically check if the user is actually authenticated or not. So you don't want to put all the logic like authentication logic inside this particular code block. So you can just directly handle this here. So it will just take care of everything. And also you just see it is just writing the test case for the login as well as. So yeah, basically this is how cool it is. And yesterday I was just playing with this ChatGPT. Okay, so I got done some pretty interesting APIs for my product basically. So let me go and show you what it basically does is I think this is the one which I have developed yesterday, not this one, sorry. I think this one. Okay, so this is basically this complete API is basically generated by ChatGPT. So basically it's just my application where you come and type some social media posts on Twitter, and you can just select any platform like LinkedIn or Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. So it will just I just gave it some prompt because I actually had a already have the backend for this, and I just gave some exact prompt what it needs to exactly do, and it just came up with this all this routes and all the stuffs. I just added some, I just done some little bit of refactoring to this code, but yeah, this is pretty interesting. So to me, this is what the future it is. So so now we can just focus on Android and iOS stuff. Okay, now let's ask this ChatGPT to generate source code for a simple to do app maybe. Okay, so before that it's necessary to add some documentation for the API. So Swagger is most famous for that. So you can just add a single prompt, and you can just send the single prompt to the this chat GPT, and it will generate all the documentations for your API. So basically add Swagger documentation for the above API. Okay, so basically it will just give you all the things like what is the steps you need to do, and yeah, you see it is just adding all the documents related to this code. Now yeah, so this is the example documentation for the get to dos, and you see it is adding all the documentation and what is the type and what are all the properties for this API. Amazing. So if you just run this host localhost 3000/docs, you can able to see all the routes like get, update, get, post, put, delete, all the routes with a perfect documentation. So it is actually working pretty well. So let's say if I just want to change the authentication method, and I can just simply come here and just type let's say instead of JWT, I just want to JWT authentication with magic link, okay, passwordless auth. It is pretty capable of doing that. So this is the thing, which is things getting really interesting. So I just tried to develop some to-do app with so I've been working with Xcode for past few months, and I just asked it to create a to-do app with MVVM architecture. Okay, so let's try to do that with picture using core data and SwiftUI. Okay, that's it. Just watch it's actually creating all the stuffs. So create a new Xcode project, and it is asking us to add the signing capabilities. So basically in SwiftUI Xcode, so it is completely different from Android, so it's kind of like adding dependencies. So it is asking us to do that, and yeah, basically you see it is the view model here. It is actually creating all these things like add, update, toggle to do, so and delete the to do. So whenever you are generating the code, by default in the middle of the code generation it would basically stop. So I will just you can just do continue above. So basically it will generate rest of the code for you. So it's created it actually created the view model, and that's great. And this is the list view. This is basically the front end component. You see it is using this list and for each and thing, and actually it also adding the icons for this to do app, basically checkmark square or checkmark. So yeah, now finish above code. It will just finish the above code. Due to huge number of people actually just trying this ChatGPT, so it's taking some more time. So yeah, so basically it's just creating the component, which is that to do item component. Also this is the home view where you can able to stack all these things. So pretty interesting. Also if you just see in application.delegate. So it is asking us to add this necessary files for our application. I think this is pretty interesting. So let's try to do that same in Android. Okay, so in MVVM. So yeah, it is actually adding the dependencies. So compose alpha. Interesting. A lot of other interesting stuffs. Continue. Okay, it is actually okay. This is the view model, and yeah, it's actually generating the code in Kotlin. That is nice. You see, it is creating the composable component, and it's using lazy column, and it's also creating the to do row component, and oh, that's interesting. So you see, it is just defining the state, mutable state of. That is interesting. So maybe we can just on toggle change the background of the to-do item. Okay, you see, it is using background modifier, and it's just changing everything. You see, interesting. Also, it uses light gray. If it is completed, then the task will be highlighted in a light gray. If not, it is going to use the transparent color. Amazing. Interesting. Cool. Okay, so that's interesting. I think actually a lot of people, especially in Stack Overflow, there was an issue going on. I'm not sure. Let's go back and see hack and use. I think it's GPT. I think let's search chat. Okay, you see, this is an issue actually is going on in Stack Overflow. People actually using, going to the Stack Overflow and getting some, new questions, and they are using ChatGPT 3 to generate the answer for that question, and they are just posting that answer in the Stack Overflow to get that point. It is actually happening, and I'm not sure how many people actually have done this, but it's pretty interesting idea, but it's not a way to go. Yeah, so you can just go and read this entire thread, and you can able to understand. A lot of users actually, I think one person literally answered almost around like 1,000 questions yesterday, and yeah, so this is not a way to do these kind of things. So I think they literally temporarily banned this kind of AI generated answers. It seems like, I'm not sure how they have done it, but interesting. Okay, so it's time to have a chat, and maybe we can just have some chatter. Okay, ChatGPT is not only about code generation. Also, I'm just using this, to create the title for my YouTube video. So basically, let's say title. Basically, I will do rewrite a viral YouTube title, and instead of this, I will just functional app with ChatGPT. Okay, so result is amazing. Okay, so now let's try to check. So let me try again. So yeah, this is how it is, just creating this content. So you can just write blog posts and all. So I think by using this you can literally create a number of apps. So if you have this good design skill set, and if you able to clearly communicate with, able to communicate or convey the message to this chat GPT, like what you exactly want from this code or for this app, then you are unstoppable. So let's say if I'm having this design knowledge and also I'm having some sort of tech knowledge, and I don't want to spend a huge amount of time setting up all these infrastructures and writing the components, writing all this logic. So instead of that, I can just come here and I can just casually chat with this chat GPT, and it will able to give you some suggestion. Let's say it generated all the codes, right? So now summarize as the action items for to-do app and write on. Okay, so what it will do is it will just create a summarizer for us. So you can just basically follow this thing in a step-by-step manner, and yeah, you see. So this is the way to go. So you can just do that, or else let's say if you are planning to create any API, backend API with this, and instead of just blindly getting started on that, you can just come here and just ask the machine to just generate the entire code, and you can just ask it to summarize the action items or make it as a to-do list. Basically it will generate all the list of to-do action items which you need to follow in a particular order, so that you can just able to finish this thing. I think it not only supports this code generation as well as the text generation, and you can literally create a new JS framework with this thing. Yesterday I was just playing with this thing, and let's try it again. So basically a lot of JS frameworks, JavaScript frameworks are super slow, and so instead of you can just write a Rust binaries, which it can just directly converts to transpiles into this web assembly, and which is they can directly run on the browsers. So I was just trying to create a new JS framework with this chat GPT. Okay, and it's called GC. So let's try again. So create a new JS framework for web and called ECJS. Okay, let's call it as a ECJS. Okay, so it will just take some time, and it will just come up with the answer. And the interesting part is it is actually explaining everything in a very simple layman terms. So okay, show me the implementation. Okay, you see, it is actually creating the class, and you see it is creating the class for the component, and to render the component it's just creating all these things. It's pretty interesting. How to use this? If you just ask, it will just just show you that preview code for you. It will just take some more time. You see, this is how you need to create the component with ECJS. So we have created this simple JavaScript framework, and it is asking us to initialize this ECJS class, and this is how you need to create the component, and this is how you need to messy, and we are just passing. You can just add a lot of things. Let's say add fetch API support to ECJS. Now instead of just saying framework name, so you can just use ECJS because it remembers what we usually did before. So it will just add the fetch API inside this ECJS, and also you can just add SSR, server-side rendering, to it. So you see, it is actually generating. I think it will just implement the fetch. Yeah, you see. To use this component, it's actually creating. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So it actually generates all these things for us. You see, we are just fetching this thing, and we are using the state, and we are just getting the value. Basically, we are just making it as a string literal, and inside of that we have this basic template, which is a pure form of HTML. So let's try to add maybe, let's say if you just want to change this entire JavaScript to let's make it as a support TypeScript. Let's see. It is actually thinking. It is actually explaining what's the benefit, and now it just creates this interface for us. Previously everything was pretty bland, and now we have this typing system, so we can now safely add typings. Cool. It is basically that's it. So let's say if you just want this framework to we can just migrate to Rust binaries, we can just do that. I'll just migrate this to Rust. Okay, so it will just take some more time. From Rust binaries we can just able to completely get the wasm file, and we can just directly run this file across any browser. You see, WebAssembly compiler. So basically this is how Svelte is working under the hood. So yeah, you see, now whatever you see, it's all written in Rust, and it will build the binaries for us, and that binary we can just run that binary across any browser. Basically it is much more faster than JavaScript. Yeah, it is adding this fetch. Now let's add SSR. So it will just add the server-side rendering support also. So you can just keep on giving the prompts, so it will just make some minor addition to each and every steps, and at the end of the thing you can able to test all these things very easily. So you see, it is actually saying you need to add a Node.js server. That is fine. So yeah. So it is actually, yeah, you see, interesting. So you can just click on this try again to generate all the stuffs. So basically that's it. So I think it's time to chat, and maybe we can just continue building some other apps. So yeah, if you are interested, then I can just create a simple to-do app with Svelte kit with Postgres support, so that I think that would be really interesting, let me go back here and see. Instead of just showing jobs, ChatGPT will create more jobs and competition because the companies will need good developers to maintain the code which is generated by Chat. Okay, I agree. So previously, if you just see 6 months back, so we have been just asking Copilot to generate the code, basically the code snippet, but now it is actually generating the entire framework or the entire app, which is you can just actually copy and paste and you can just set it up and running. Okay, I think in next few months it will just do everything from scratch and it will deploy for us if we just are smart enough to deploy and give all the instruction. So I think this is interesting. So yeah, it is a huge time saver for me, basically. Yeah, interesting. Cool. So you can just use this. I'm using this ChatGPT desktop app. You can just use this. You can just come here and just download this files. If you are using Windows, you can just use Windows, or Mac OS, you can just use Mac OS. And yeah, now it's good to go. So it is having this default support. You can just see, you can just quit this app from the top, and yeah, basically it is much more better than opening the browser and running. And it is still having some more issues, like you can just directly copy the results which it is showing up here, so that is fine. And yeah, you can just use that, and that's it. Now let's try to build any other apps. It also creates a Figma plugin, so it would just take some more time, and it will just create a new Figma plugin for us. That's why it's taking. Okay. Nice. Interesting. I think. Okay, so if you have any questions, I can just. This is pretty cool to see code. Android OS, since most of them that is built in is deprecated. Let's see. I think this ChatGPT is built. They have this, knowledge up to 2021. I'm not sure about till 2022, but still, yeah, the future is full of, you just need to be a good prompt engineer. So you just need to. So there are two kind of developers. Okay, so one is the person who really has some rock solid skills, and they have this, very good understanding, having the understanding of fundamentals of CS, okay, computer science basically. And on other end, the developers who's talented enough to to search on Google and basically they can able to replicate any products basically by doing Google. So they have this developing experience. They are some sort of called self-taught developers. So these kind of developers will have this broad knowledge across various technologies. And the first type of developer, which I said before, they will have this deep knowledge of one particular framework. I think the future would be something beyond exciting for the developers who's good at Googling. Okay, so they can literally create any stuffs. They can literally able to communicate well to the system to create and maybe basically an app or backend or any sort of plugins or any sort of automation scripts, anything like that. Okay, so they can able to they will just keep on iterating the stuff to generate this optimized results. And what are the solutions which ChatGPT is giving us? It's 90 to 80 to 90% is legit, apart from this npm modules and all those stuffs, because most of them are outdated. And I think mostly the syntax are really perfect. I think it's very good to get started. So for me, I've been working in a web development for almost like the past 1 year. So since I've been running my agency, and so I have worked with Next.js, SvelteKit, and Astro, Vue, I think, basically all this framework. But at the end of the day, so you need to quickly finish your job and you need to build some scalable systems. So after getting that GitHub Copilot, it's really a time saver. So even though I type very fast, and it really is saving my time. So let's say if one simple form, creating the login form, so you need to do all sort of CSS and all those stuffs, and you need to send a div and all those things. With Tailwind it is really easy, but still you need to add all this logic, right? So our Copilot is smart enough to do all the stuffs for you, and it will basically generates the on-click function, on handle event function to to submit the data to the REST API. So imagine that for each day you have been so let's say you are earning around like $2,000 per day, and Copilot is just I think it's $8. So you are just working for an entire month. It's something comes around like 600 or 500 rupees, something around like that. I think this is saving a huge amount of time, and also making us a better developer. So we can just imagine writing a regex. I can just write the regex for any text in just matter of seconds. That's the cutting edge technology. That's we are in a good era to build the good software applications. I think in upcoming months, most of the indie developers make use of this ChatGPT, because we never know when they are going to charge huge bucks for this. They will just make use of this free version of this ChatGPT, and they will try to create a number of apps, basic apps. So I will just give you an idea. So just take anything else, okay? So just take any simple app, maybe an expense tracker, maybe a to-do app, or whatever else, okay? Just add, just try to find, good application from Play Store, and you can just look at the designs. Most of the, apps which is having millions of downloads, they don't have a good designs or user experience. You can just take it as an advantage, come to the ChatGPT, and you can just write all the code. And for design work, you can just spend some extra time crafting all this better user experience, and just try to implement all the stuffs and launch the application in the App Store. And for sure you can able to make some decent money out of it. So for copywriting, we have this tool. We can just generate copywriting. So this is beyond imagination. So I think I'm expecting a lot of people would basically do mobile app development and web development, a lot of small projects. They will try to sell their services in online. So Also, I'm just a little bit worried about this particular hype, because if you just go back and see all the social media posts and all the blogs which we are seeing, we personally love people because of their uniqueness and the way of their writing style. AI can mimic their writing style. You can just need to feed bunch of data like their tweet and their blogs. And now, so for example, let's take Elon Musk. So you can just pass bunch of tweets, and you can just pass it to the GPT-3, and it will just generate if you just ask him to do some product and promotion, it will just generate it will just act exactly like Elon Musk. It will generate all the text exactly like Elon Musk. The problem with this approach is after a certain period of time, it's going to be everybody is having this equal superpower. That is a plus point, obviously in terms of creating application. But coming to the content writing and all, so it's going to be really bad in my honest opinion. Just imagine in this way, LinkedIn was super it was an amazing platform before COVID. Okay, after COVID, during COVID especially, lot of students and lot of folks actually started to take online courses, and they literally started to promote the certifications on this platform. And a lot of people just joined LinkedIn because of FOMO, fear of missing out. So after a certain period of time, LinkedIn become a pure trash. Okay, so still some people say it's good for business, blah 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 and all. Okay, but I don't think it doesn't have any it doesn't make any sense to be in platform where we just keep on seeing the repeated content on all those stuff. Twitter is some sort of unique. People don't do these kind of things on Twitter. It's very rare to see that. So what I'm trying to say is, if we gave this power to so a lot of people will try to basically mimic the exact what other people are trying to do, and at a certain period of time, all the products, all the things which you basically see will become outdated. So you will be in this a dilemma mode, where switching between this particular SaaS product in the next month. So this guy's added some additional features, then you will stick to other. So this will keep on running, and I think that's thing. And so we also need to talk about this no-code tool, because we developers spend huge amount of time writing code, sitting in front of computer and writing all those business logic, front end, back end, all those things. Okay, so a no-code tool just lot of people prefer no-code tool. Like you can just take Webflow. That's been a huge success. You can just simply drag and drop. They have this Webflow University where you can basically learn all this default stuffs, how to create landing page, how to use templates, and yeah. Okay, so the CMS become very easy. So even the people who don't have any tech knowledge, they can come and they can write blogs with the CMS. That's interesting. But after a certain period of time, still no code requires some technical knowledge, because the person who don't have any technical knowledge, for him it's some sort of difficult to set up all this database and thinking about the scalabilities and also stuff. It's pretty hard. I think this is the right way. This is a code. It's actually generates the code, and you can able to see what's happening behind and how we can refactor this code. You can just refactor this particular page in 10 different ways of doing it. You can even ask GPT to generate to suggest what is the best form of create those frameworks and create this particular component, and how could I stop making this component render again and again whenever I'm making some data changes. So you can just ask this thing, and it will basically throwing us some results that is 90% legit. Okay, so I think this is the future, and we are just lagging behind on the industrial design. Basically, not about the industrial design, digital design. Basically, if you just we need a Figma plugin. I think there is some person at Diagram which is they are basically working on this, exactly same like ChatGPT. You can just chat with the Figma plugin that will just basically create the components for you basically. So that's the only phase which we are lagging behind. So we have this UI Zod, I think. So we have this UI Zod. Basically it just converts this hand drawing to components, basically the designs. So it's not pretty good. So if you just want good looking stunning designs or unique design, this is not a way to go. But still the people who's getting started in this development, they can just simply come and try this thing. This is pretty interesting. You can just draw some wireframes and yeah, you see this is the results. They are basically getting the material designs component and just showing it. Yeah, see, that's it. Amazing. So this product has been around like 5 years, I think. When I was in college, I got to know about this tool, and at that time they were free, and I was one of the early testers for this product. And now it's paid, I think, but still we can just generate this thing. Yeah, basically that's it. So any questions on this thing? So I think I'm back. Sure. Okay, so I'm back. So okay, so let's talk about the other things that AI can able to do. So I think it's kind of really boring for me. So I think maybe I can just start working on this maybe basic CRUD up to-do app. Maybe I can able to do that. So yeah, maybe that would work. Okay, so before that, I can just basically someone just asked me like what are the tools I use it on my mission. Okay, so let's start from scratch. Basically, I'm using this for Postgres database. I'm using this tool called PostICO. You can just come and see. This is the tool which I'm using right now. I'm using the free version of this tool. I'm really a big fan of this tool because it's so minimal and it's getting my job done. So if you just go and use any tools like PGAdmin, it is crowded with a lot of unwanted stuff, and most of them we would not use most of the things which they offer. This looks like a SQL browser where you can just come and see the schemas and all those stuffs thing, and you can just come here and spin up the own server like you want. So basically like this. So these are all the things I have been running right now. And regarding the Postgres, I don't use a Docker because it's due to the I don't want my computer to blow up taking up the 8 GB of the memory kicks. So that's why I just installed this Postgres database. So you can just spin up the local server from here. So yeah, again, and I'm using this Chat GPT app which is from the GitHub. I actually shared the link. You can just download it here. And for window management, I'm using this. I can just simply go anywhere with the keyboard shortcut. So basically, I'm using this rectangle tool. It is also open source. So what are all the tools which I'm using? Most of them are open source. Okay, so you can just use this tool to manage your windows, and especially Raycast is absolute productivity killer. So I've been using this Raycast app for a very long time, and I can just check my I have installed bunch of plugins. So here you can able to see I have installed this Versal plugin. I can just check the Versal deployments from inside of this Raycast itself. Let's say if I just want to quickly see the preview, I can just do that. Or else if I just want to open this app, I can just I can just open this app and able to see what is actually there. So basically that's it. And regarding the screenshots, so there is another tool which I've been using this. It's called Shotter. Okay, so yeah, this tool is amazing tool. Let's say if I just want to capture this particular code, and let's try to copy this particular code snippet block. Okay, now I can just simply add the rectangle, and I can just simply add the arrow marking, and I can just simply add this, and also it is coming up with this super nice feature. Okay, so I need to just press the shortcuts B, and now I just want to hide this, blur this area. I can just do that in a matter of seconds. Let's say I just want to erase this complete part. I can just simply go here and let's press B again, and now you see if I just toggle this here, it will just basically erase this thing. If I just click this icon, it will just basically copy this image, and if you just click on another icon, it will just basically save you this thing. It is one of my favorite tool because of this UI UX. Also, it is having the scrolling screenshot. So let's say if I just want to capture this entire screenshot, I can just come here and more scrolling capture. Okay, so now I need to define the max width, so it will basically scroll all the way to the bottom. Yeah, it's just actually generated the screenshot. It is super high quality screenshot. I can just literally share this thing to my colleagues or whatever. They are also having this upload function. So I think it is uploading screenshot to their server. So that's the reason I'm not using it. But still, if you just want to use it, you can just press on this, and you can just come here and let me. Oh my god, I'm not sure. It's okay. The copy is not working. So yeah, basically you can just share the URL to anyone. So I think, and also I'm using this Fig. So basically it's in dashboard. It's basically does auto completion for my thing. So let's say if I just type ls, let's say, you see I can easily navigate between a lot of other files. So also it comes up with a lot of handy shortcuts, like let's say if I'm using Prisma, you can able to see stuffs like it would just suggest me like auto completion basically for IDE, basically for terminal. Sorry, yeah. And instead of that, I'm basically having this dot files set up here. So I will just show you. So I'm just trying off typing this npm render and all the stuff. These are all the shortcuts dot files which I have configured here. So yeah, you can just set up this dot files, and you can just share this thing. So it is all syncing with your account. So basically, and they are also having this I'm using free plan, so you can also go. I think free plan is much more capable of doing anything you want. So it is basically for teams. So yeah, so apart from that, I use other application called yeah, basically I use Origami Studio. Okay, so I will explain you what is Origami Studio is. Okay, I don't need any update. So if you're the person, if you just see, if you're a designers, most of them will do, auto animation and all the stuff, right? But this tool is basically from, Facebook. They have been, using this tool to create real-time interactions. Let's say you can't really make complex interactions with Figma. You can just simply, add auto animate. That would work fine. But still, if you just want some additional customization, like the drag or something like that, okay, so you can just do that with this particular tool. And I personally use this tool to create complex interfaces, like interaction. Basically, let's say let's go and open this thing. Now you see we have this pretty interesting use case. This is the demo. So if I just scroll here, I will just make it some more bigger so that you guys can able to see. Okay, so now we have this thing. It will just snap to the center of the screen. If you just see, the values are actually changing. It is looking like some sort of, you need to do some sort of math here. Basically, nothing much is going on. So you can just see the page size, and we are just connecting the size, and basically we are just changing the scroll position. We are just doing some math here. You can just directly import your Figma layers, like the image or the frame, and you can able to directly interact with this. So it is having tons of cool interactions, like let's say I can just literally go here. Let's say if you just want this Tinder's kind of like swiping styles, you can just do that. You see how cool is that? You can't create this animation in Figma, I bet you. This is interesting if you just carefully take a look at it. So yeah, it is having this tab, and yeah, basically it is listening for the tap event. And here also they are changing the transition exposition basically, and here they are just changing the rotation basically. So that's it. This is what you can just use it to create complex animation. Maybe in future I will be creating some tutorials on this. Yeah, so most of the design agencies, big agencies, they basically use this tool to create complex interfaces instead of using this complex stuffs. So also you can just do some sort of typing animations, lot of other things. A lot of things are actually there. So yeah, so let's open this and try to interact with this thing. You see how cool is this? Now you can you don't need to think about the logic here. Whenever you are just implementing it, you can just literally able to do the exact same coding, so you can just understand what's going on. So they are having the state for the transition, they are having the state for the progress, they are having the state for this switch, a lot of things. So you can just play with this thing. You can just use this tool to change tweak the values however you want basically. So this is most underrated tool that no one knows. I think they have some cool concepts on the internet. Basically you can just I think you can just go to this thing, origami. Let me show you some real world examples here. Okay, so examples. Now they have this I think my internet is pretty much low. Yeah, let's see this example. Not sure why it's taking too much time. I'm not sure, is it let's reload this app. Oh, okay, especially I just forgot to talk about this browser called Arc browser, which is from browser company. Okay, so I have been loving this browser for using this browser for a very long time. Okay, so you can just come and download this browser from here. So basically, this browser is especially made for developers and designers who loves shortcuts. Okay, so I can just simply, do a bunch of things, other things. Let's say, if I just want to, take a screenshot instead of using the Shorter app, I can just simply use a Shorter app. Let's say this application is on open state, that's why it's not showing. I can just use this tool. You see, it is automatically wrapping this entire thing. I can just copy any particular thing. So let's say if I just click on this, it will ask me to where to whom I just want to send this thing. I can just copy this thing to clipboard or save it to the local, and I can just even edit this. So they have this text I can just type. It's exactly like Shorter, but it's now let's say they have this new thing called Easel. Easel is the new thing where you can just save all your ideas. It's exactly like Figma's FigJam, or else iOS new freeform. Okay, so you can just organize anything here, and let's say hello world, and I can just share this thing, this easel, to anyone can view and copy link. Now if I just close this and open the same link, you see I can able to see my thing. That's it. That's easy. Okay, now if you just see, this is completely having this different UX. Okay, so the concept of this Arc browser is something different. So I can just hide the sidebar. So now I have this use of this full browser, and I can switch between the spaces. Basically, let's say I have bunch of spaces in the bottom. You see, this is for the clients, this is for the thing, and this is for my startup, and this is for the general use case. So switching the spaces is something unique which we have in this thing. Okay, so you can use shortcuts to switch spaces. Okay, so that's thing, and they have this command palette. Okay, so you can just press command K and you can able to switch tab, or you can just able to do a lot of other things. So basically like this, and I'm just getting any message. Okay, we have WhatsApp. Let me put some free fire over here. Get attraction. Some blade too. Okay. ChatGPT just launched. It's already so scary. Advertisements. Now you should ask tools to sponsors. Oh, okay, man. So the problem is, I didn't know how to set up this this chat thing. So I didn't have enough time to set up because I was busy working with this, thumbnail. Yeah. So that's the thing. So that's not. I'm not getting any notification for this chat. So let me focus on the chat for now. Yeah. So Apache 64, hi bro. So okay, so let me give some shout outs to some of my friends who is there in this chat. Okay, I think you can just open the widget. Seriously. Okay, pop out chat. Okay, now move to okay, now I got this pop-up chat. Now I can able to focus on the chats. Interesting. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm using my mobile. Okay, so I'm using continuity camera, so it is acting as my camera. So I'm not supposed to use my mobiles, so it only supports the rear camera. So it's very hard to, it doesn't support the front camera, so that I can this thing. So quickly, okay. So what else? What else we can discuss? So. Okay, not like that. So okay, so basically let me give some shout out to my friends, super talented folks. Actually we are group of friends who used to do work together on some open source projects, basically. So let me open that thing. So let me close everything. It's kind of weird. Let me open Origami. Okay, so if you are wondering that, okay, suggest some books. I'm having some books. Okay. It's not a book, but it's some sort of like cheat sheet where you can just use it. So let me show you that. Okay, for that I just let me set up everything. It's really annoying. Okay, so you asked me about the books, right? So just go to the Goal Kicker. This is one of the really good place to get started. Let's say you have no programming knowledge and you don't have lots of time by watching YouTube videos and all. Okay, just come here and you can able to see a lot of books, especially especially if you are getting started. Let's say if you just want to get started in Kotlin. Okay, if you go to the Kotlin website, they have beautiful documentations, but still you just need some examples, right? You just need to have some examples like how basic stuff works, how generics works in Kotlin. You can just simply download this book. It's free, and you can just go through each and every chapter. So you can literally finish this entire book in just less than one day or maximum 2 days. And after that, you will be having a basic overall idea of what is Kotlin is and what are the functions they used to have, what are the APIs they used to have. It's pretty interesting. So let's say if I'm just getting started in TypeScript, or else let's say the Postgres. Okay, you don't want to use Google. Now we have a GPT. Okay, but before that you will be it's very hard to do some basic search. Now we have GPT. Until OpenAI charges some huge bucks, you can just make use of that, or else just come to this website. And they even have an Android, but I think it's only the XML Android, not the Jetpack Compose which you are looking forward for. But still they are having all the things. Let's say still you just need to understand the fundamentals like the broadcast receivers, a lot of other internal stuffs, right? So you can just come here and able to see they explained with some examples like how to use Dagger, obviously. So a lot of things. Let's say if you just want to work with Bluetooth, then you can just have this lot of other things. They have huge things. You can just go and see, basically. Pretty interesting. I will just share this link in the chat. It's called Goal Kicker. Okay, so this is one place which I usually find books to quickly grasp the knowledge on the internet. And on the other end, let's say Raycast is having this unique plug extension that is called Library Genesis. Before that, probably you all know that what is Library Genesis is. Basically, you will just go to that website and you can just download that book in various formats. Let's say Show Your Work, which is my favorite book, which is Apache 64 is doing on the internet, basically. So I think he got inspired from this book. So yeah, so you see, I can able to download this book if I just press enter. it will just open and it will just ask for the location for the output folder, and it will just basically download the books for you. Super simple. You don't need to so let's say you can just copy the books by name or ISBN number or whatever it is. Now let's say I'm just copying this thing, and if I just go to and search this library Genesis, and it will auto paste this thing, and you can able to, you see it is actually showing all the books. I can even download it from here. I'm not opening any websites, I'm not doing anything. It's that much easy. So I think we are in the era of fighting for a developer experience. A lot of companies, I actually love to see a lot of companies actually fighting with each other to give the best developer experience possible, especially in web. For each and so you probably have seen this meme, like for each and every week there has been like a huge new framework getting released. Everything, each and every framework is having their own advantages, and that's actually true. So that meme is actually true. So a lot of good frameworks out there. So I personally suggest to use SvelteKit as well as the Next.js. These two frameworks are literally good, and so it is having the top-notch developer experience. You would not get that experience in any other frameworks. So less boilerplate code, and good for SEO basically, and the syntax is really good, especially in SvelteKit. They have this good TypeScript support, and you can just deploy to their infrastructure in just one click. Vercel dot, that's it. They will just basically push the website to deploy the website and give you the URL. So basically that's it. And regarding my startup, I've been working on this for a very long time. So okay, basically it's called Avagro. Okay, so you can just use this to write any social media post. Let's say I'm just copying some text from here. It will just basically show you the suggestion. I can just switch between tabs by using the shortcuts to basically preview the social media post. Basically like this. And so you can just use this bullet styles to format the bullets, and you can just copy lot of things. Okay, lot of things. But I'm just working on a paid version of this tool. I'm just thinking like I can just make it as an open source so that everybody can self-host this entire platform. I'm not sure if people are really interested to if they are really interested, I can just make it as an open source. I'm not just kidding, I'm just serious. So you can just connect your social accounts, and you can just self-host this thing. Now you can able to share the things. So actually I've been working on this designs for a very long time. So basically, okay, so this is the thumbnails. Okay, so I just got experimented with. So a lot of things actually going on. So I just finally choose this one. Okay, maybe we can just explore the Avagro. Initially I just went with a lot of iterations, lot of iterations, lot of research. Basically this is how it will look. So I'm not supposed to show the end product, maybe otherwise I would get so yeah, basically you have this thing, and you can able to see all these things here basically. And so the main motive of this tool is to if you're a sole person or indie developers, or who's trying to get exposure and also having hard time generating content, then you can just come to this platform. You can just write your text or threads or whatever it is. You can just publish this same post across different platforms like YouTube community, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. That's it. So a lot of platforms in just a single click. Okay, so pretty interesting. And also I'm just working on this new thing called the chat feature. Basically, a lot of people are interested to get connected with other people's to initiate the chat, or let's say. So basically, this tool will generate the cold DM templates for you. Basically, you see, you can just come here and you can just select a chat tab, and basically you can just select any DM templates. Let's say somebody will look for a job opportunity. You can just click on this and you can just rewrite the sentence until you are getting satisfied, and you can just type the name and you can just select your target audience across every platforms like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. Okay, and it will just send the bulk DMs. So once you got replied, you will able to continue the conversation with them. A lot of other things. I'm also having this campaign feature. So basically, this campaign feature, what it does is, imagine that you are a developer, also a designer, who's equally passionate in both design and development, but most of the followers are are Android developers. So you're not getting any traction or any tractions or likes or comments for your post, basically interaction for your post, because it's off topic. So you can just find your audience by running campaigns. Basically, you can just, it's kind of like running A/B testing in development. You can just come and just let's say you can just split your audience as a design and development, and you can just start scheduling the posts, like what are the posts you would like to share. You can just write it with the help of the AI, and you can just share it. Just run this test for 2 weeks, 14 days, and you will gradually able to see the one chart view. It will able to show all the interaction, basically this versus this, design versus Android development. So which type of audience really likes my contents. So basically, you can able to see who's your design related audience, who interacted with your Android related post, so that you can just save all the users, and you can just target them later. You can just try to tag them and interact with them, basically. So okay, so the entire concept of this app, basically from my personal experience, because so I just want to solve my personal problems, so that's why I'm just building this tool. So this tool is almost done. So I've been firefighting with Facebook and Facebook Meta especially to get the access for the API. So we have this development access, but for pushing to productions, they are just giving some restrictions for this use case. I understand some people will use this tool to spam others, but personally I'm just trying to reduce all the stuffs to make this entire app really functional and really usable thing. So I know if I just make it as an open source, a lot of people will try and come to give their contributions. If they are super interested, then definitely I will just make this entire app as an open source entirely for free. You can just self-host this with so I'm using Postgres and some other, like for mailing services I'm using Mailgun. For queuing services, initially I used RabbitMQ, Amazon SQs and all. So after that I just fed up with all these things. So I later switched to QSAS. This is basically Upstash database, which is responsible for queuing all those, scheduling all those tweets and things. So I'm for the platform. This was supposed to be in next year's. Okay. After that, after a certain period of time, I just migrated my entire app to SvelteKit because I'm pretty obsessed with the SvelteKit. They have this pretty good use case, also the developer experience and all the stuffs. So it is super fast compared to Svelte. It's just working at the build time instead of compile time, basically, instead of like next year's, which is working at runtime. So it basically just generates the components on the runtime, basically like that. So Svelte is faster. They have built-in animation. So yeah, you can see how good looking the design is. Basically the logo, I have this huge story for this logo, basically. Yeah, it's one of my favorite logo which I have made. So basically it's A, Abo and Grow. So this is A and this is G. So growth. So I just switched this icon to opposite direction. After that, I just want to make it as some sort of so I just want to make some animation out of it, like this is hitting this one and it will just start to spin, something like that. So I just made this is an A and this is G, abo grow. So that's the story. So also the reason I just went with this this classic orange and red pumpkin this color scheme, because I personally love this color scheme, and this is one of the classic color palettes which you can able to see on internet, because yeah. So let me go to the chat. Okay, so my girlfriend is shouting. Okay. Okay. So okay. So basically, okay. Why the name Abagro? So we just finalized almost like all the names. Basically, like feed pinch, and a lot of other stuffs. Okay. So after a certain period of time, we don't have a .com domain. So what this the people on the internet, highly talented folks, what they used to do is they will basically scrap all the data from the I think they scrap the data from some sort of online, I think I'm not sure, seen it, yeah, some platform. Okay, basically they just scrapped all the available .com domains and they just listed as a public domains. Okay, so anybody can instead of just searching spikysenju.com and checking the .com domain is available, I can able to see what are all the .com domains available. I can just quickly make the purchase of this. The problem with that is you can't even find any. Let's say if I just want to buy previewpanel.com, means then that domain is already taken, because yeah, they are selling it for higher prices. Okay, so I don't want to do that. So that's the reason I just went with this combination of abo and grow. There is a website, I think there is a website for this. I will just tell you this hack. Mix match domains. Okay, so it's pretty secret. Nobody knows this. Okay, so you can just come to this domain, and here we have this 3 palettes, 3 columns. Okay, basically let's say if I just want to type above and let's say grow. Okay, it is asking us, do you need exact words or related words? Do you need exact words or related words? So for growth, I will just choose related words. For abo also I will choose. Now if I just hit the search, it will just give all the .com domains available. Okay, so you can just go ahead and do the purchase if you want. That's it. Super simple. So that's how I found this domain. It's above the growth. So if you're using this tool, it's above the growth. So this is the domain. So I can just share you this URL so that you guys can make use of it. So buying a .com domain is pretty hard. Speaking from my experience, I think I'm not sure is my front camera is available. Okay, it's available. Cool. And lot of other things. I have a lot of other tools to share. I think this one. How we can just forgot this tool basically. Yeah. So I have been using this tool called Muesli. Okay. Basically, what it does is you can just, let's say if you're a developer or designer who loves to have some creativity to see bunch of things on your newsfeed, you can just use this extension and you can able to see all the post landing pages. So these are all the things which I initially set up here, designer news, sidebar and all the stuffs. Okay, let's say if I'm just casually browsing through all those things, I can able to see, get updated, stay updated on all the latest technologies and topics. So I have this hacker news thing which is enabled here, so that's why I'm getting. You can just pick the trending topics from the top, so that what are all the trending this week in IT industry, you can able to see that in terms of design, tech, culture, news, anything else. So this is must have extension. It is way more better than some other developer extension, I think. So it is having bunch of other things. So basically the home page, you see, this is pretty interesting. So you can have all those things. Yeah. So this is the thing which I used to have. And regarding, so I have this personal thought. Okay, so Apache 64, Wasim and all. Okay, I personally think the people should start to learn this web technology. After that only they need to get started in mobile development, because currently we are just sticking in this mobile app development ecosystem, and we are just closely working with this databases and all the stuffs, maybe the performance and all the stuffs. But the real engineering things, the real infrastructures and the real opportunities are actually in the mobile, web especially. Okay, especially in backend. I personally felt that. Okay, so I have been working with some US based client for the e-commerce app. So a lot of other things. Okay, so I'm just not talking about just building the apps. I'm just talking about the infrastructures. Let's say the interesting problems, the exposure you would get to work with the latest technologies like microservices, serverless architecture, server-side rendering, and how we can optimize everything, the SEO, lot of things in Android and iOS development. We will not get that exposure, as well as we will not get that knowledge. So we are currently living in that bubble. So yeah, basically, so that's the thing. So I personally felt that. So what I basically did is I love to explore a lot of technologies, a lot of things. So one day I was just talking to one of my friend, basically Wasim Akram. Okay, so regarding for scheduling the tweet, basically just coming back to this thing for scheduling this tweet, lot of people, if I just launch this application in production, now I need to have some sort of queue to schedule, let's say 12 o'clock January 1st at New Year. There are thousands of tweets are scheduled basically. Okay, I need to manually run the cron job to publish each and every tweets. Okay, if anything got failed, I need to retry it again. That's a really interesting use case. A lot of people will say just use RabbitMQ, just use Amazon SQ Simple Queue services, and let's use BullMQ. So these are all the libraries, TypeScript libraries, Node.js libraries, where you will just basically import them and you will just try to set up. Setting up is really a mess, and you need to handle all those things like logic and all those stuffs. That's not a solution, right? So we need an elegant solution that works really well, and also the scalable. It doesn't it helps you to move fast forward. So later that I found this thing called QStash from Upstash. Okay, so basically what it does is it's just individually schedules, triggers the post. Basically this is absolutely insane. Okay, let me tell you why. Okay, so I will quickly run this app and tell you like cd abagrow. I will just show you the basic demo, like why I'm just keep on saying this stuff. Let me go to this local host, and so this is just a very alpha app. So this is not a final application, so just get rid of this design. And also this is just a pretty testing application which I simply created to test purposes. The end application looks different. So okay, let's say okay, so I'm currently logged in. Oh my god, I just exposed my mail ID. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so let's say hello world. Okay, now let's we have this thing. So let's try to schedule the post. It will just schedule the post, and if you just actually see, okay, you can able to see these are all the content, and we have this unique message ID. You see the message ID, basically the queue ID. Now let me go back to the QStash. Um, okay, so I don't think why it's actually taking so much time, basically. Fast.com. Yeah, it's my internet is good. I'm not sure. Okay, it's actually logging up. Okay, so we have this queue stash. If I go to the logs, I'm just calling this unique. This is my trumpet. This is basically the API which I'm using. This is a separate API backend which I showed you in the chat. Okay, so it's called trumpet. Basically, the publishing the post. That's why. So I have this bot which will I'm just passing this message post ID. It will just ping this URL at this particular time. Let's say I need to ping this URL at instead of crawling, manually crawling the website, crawling the link every time. Let's say if I just want to check if there is any post for the last 10 minutes, I need to crawl every 10 minutes, right? That's not the case here. So whenever the user schedules the post to the particular time, let's say 30 minutes from now, this queue stash will just trigger this URL only at that particular time. Let's say if you just schedule this URL, trigger this URL, let's say around 30 minutes from now, let's say 10 minutes from now, it will not just keep on checking the URL if there is any post is there or not. It will just ping the URL only once. That's the technology. Even if it fails, it will just try to basically it will just try to retry. Basically it will just try to retry until it succeeds. Okay, it will basically give it a retry. Okay, and after that, now if you just go to the browser, you can able to see the hello world post here. This is posted from my framework. This is how my entire Abagro is working. So basically, simple engineering problem. So we actually solved a very very interesting problem in a very simple terms, basically. So yeah, that's it. Also, if you just see, I have this. If you just see carefully, this is highlighted in a development mode. Arc browser is having this development mode where you can just simply copy. You can just toggle the network panel easily, and you can just open the console, and you can just select any elements you want. So yeah, so this is the DX also. So you don't need to select all the shortcuts and all. So you can just select, and you can just select anything you want. Yeah, exactly like this. So yeah, so this is how it works basically. So yeah, so basically what I will do is I will just basically pass the my post to QStash. QStash will take care of everything. So if anything is failed, I will just try to repost that post again. So that's the thing. So basically that's it. And yeah, so if you just see, it is having this cool animation. Let's say these are like built-in animation which supports, and I don't need to add any additional dependencies like motion, frame of motion and all. So they have this pretty cool, interesting thing. So yeah, so pretty interesting engineering problem we solved in a matter of seconds with QStash framework. There are a lot of tools are actually like this, and yeah, personally I recently like this Scrimba language. Scrimba, okay, so this is a language. Obviously you guys know what is Scrimba. Basically you can just write code. It's just a platform where you can just write interactive code while the video is playing. So they have this own language called Scrimba. Okay, so you can just, that language is absolutely beautiful. So you can just play with canvas you want. So you can just do advanced stuff you want. It's actually pretty good. I think I will probably try it out. So yeah, so basically it's called Imba. Sorry, it's a language from Scrimba. It's called Imba. It's pretty interesting. Just take a look at this one, so you can just fall in love with this thing. So let's say if you're probably starting new online e-commerce, let's say educational platform, you can just use this language to create exactly the experience how this Scrimba is creating. So it's pretty interesting. In this case, I think I've been doing streaming for almost 2 hours from now. Not sure. Okay. Any questions? Any thoughts? Anything you want to discuss? Let me open the URL and let's have a discussion on that thing. So coming back to the thing, so I have a bunch of productivity. Not this one. Not this one. I think Closure.js does the same thing, I guess. I'm not sure about the Closure.js, but yeah, I think you need to probably try this Imba language. Sorry, that's really amazing. No, so I think there is also a HTMX, HTMX. Yeah, this one. Why you need a JavaScript framework while you can just do all the things with the HTML? So basically, this is a thing where you can just create web apps sparse with this. It's a human readable language, I think. So they have a lot of things. It's basically the pretty interesting HTML syntax they have. At first you need some practice to work on this. This is also one of the cool things that you can just do. So this is also very interesting. You can just write the syntax in a plain language. That's also okay. Also, let's talk about this Go API. I think it's called Go API. Okay, I'm also working on a new interesting side project. Okay, so it's called a thumbnail test, something related to. I have a app that uses HTMX and Alpine.js in production. Pretty amazing. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, I see. Okay, so I have been using this, Pocket Base. Let's say if you just want to create any backend API, okay, so you can just want to use SQL and with Go support, you can just use this. This is the Pocket Base. It's a Mac app, so it is also having app support for Windows. You just install this app and you can just literally with graphical user interface, you can just add API endpoints, like how you add a table in Supabase, something like that. Okay, you can just add all the stuffs. It is also coming up with the JWT authentication. So yeah, pretty interesting, super fast. It is also giving the REST API, WebSocket support. You see, it is also having a direct or file storage support, which you can just easily set it up with the AWS. Okay, pretty interesting. So I used it only one time, few weeks back, to work on this onboarding flow, to send emails and all stuffs. Okay, and later that I switched to Postgres, because I'm having an entire ecosystem with Postgres, Prisma, and SvelteKit. So I don't want to create another things. So basically you can just integrate this with Stacks, so it includes Svelte. That's amazing. So you can just do that. Also, it is having top-notch support for Flutter. If you are a Flutter developer who loves to create backend, just choose this. It's amazing. Okay, they have this Dart SDK where you can just simply write. It's kind of like Firebase, where you can just write all the Firebase DB queries and you can just call it. That's it. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. It's super fast. Yeah. So it is also having admin dashboard and also, I think. And for analytics, I'm using this Umami Analytics. Basically, it's my favorite analytics so far. So it's real time. So I configured this analytics with I'm also using Google Analytics. But let's say if we are launching this product in Europe and all, so Google Analytics is not allowed. Okay, so most users, according to their laws. Okay, so it's a good choice to have the Umami dashboard basically. So you just integrate with your Postgres database, or else your MySQL database. And basically, so I can able to see where all my so I can just able to see all the real-time unique visitors are coming from. Let's say if I just go to my website, it will just show the real-time visitors, where they are exactly from. It's super simple. Moreover, it's open source. You can just clone the repository and host it on Vessel. That's it. So for now, I'm just using my own thing. So that's why it's just showing analytics.abagrow.com. So so a lot of interesting stuffs. I have a lot of C names for my products basically. So analytics, trumpet, backup, a lot of things. Okay, so basically it is all protected route. So if you just try to access it, you won't get any access to that. So basically like that, you can just add a number of accounts, like a number of websites basically, and you can just add profiles. You can just set the theme. You can just change the password. It's pretty interesting, pretty cool. And so regarding this open source, I'm just thinking about like how should I, either I need to publish this Abagrow app for completely free as an open source and ask for donations basically to to work on this. Because if I just launch this product probably as an open source, it's going to be huge killer like for the competitors, like I think Feed Hive. So this is also one of my competitor. So what they are basically doing is they are also doing the same, but they are charging a huge amount of money. Okay, so basically they have a lot of users. They are claiming that they have this AI. So our entire tool is pretty much powered with the AI. So you can just let's say if you want to port your own GPT API key, you can just come here and just add the API key inside the Abagrow platform. Then you are good to go. So it's up to you. So basically like this. So they are charging for single users. They are charging $19 per month, which is pretty huge, I think. And for brands, $29.99, $2.99 agencies. Okay. So but thinking from the product perspective, I have a different goals and vision compared to this competitors. There is also a free tool, not a free tool, Hype Fury. If I just see, this is also pretty interesting tool where you can just write Twitter threads. This tool is used by a lot of indie hackers especially. So basically this is how it will look like, Hype Fury. So then so a lot of things. So I'm just thinking, I'm just in the dilemma that either I need to make it as an open source or else make it as a public product. So I'm just thinking about that. So what's your thought? I'm not sure if anyone just seeing this video. Let me check. We have 3 concurrent views. Okay. Okay, Twitter Spaces. I think so. So the first problem which I'm planning to solve is more over the consistency, because if you just show up regularly on internet, then it will bring you a lot of opportunity. That's my thought and that's my perspective. So basically I just want to make everything smoother, like from onboarding to composing the tweet. So Abagrow is having this command palette where you can just write the tweets just pressing command key and it will open. You can just write tweets or LinkedIn posts, whatever it is, you can just write it. That's it. So basically like this. Also I think making it as an open source, it's a good idea probably. It's also very easy to set up. They can easily plug Postgres, Mailgun, QStash. That's it, they are done. And some secrets, Twitter API clients, and some secrets if they want to run, they can do that. Easy. Basically. Yeah. So exactly like how Superbase does is, right. So even if you just go and see how Umami does, oh my god, it's not even showing up in the Google search. The fuck. Okay, if you just go to the Umami, previously it was completely free. One guy just maintaining this project, and a lot of contributors over there. And now they bring this new feature, Umami Cloud. It's coming soon. I think I have an access to this Umami Cloud, so I requested for early access program. So you can just they would charge around like, let's say, $5 to $10. They would manage all the hosting for you, so you don't need to worry about it. Exactly like this, I can just make it as a product basically. So yeah, something like that would work. So also I'm just focusing on using Dribble API to post the Dribble post also. So people can just come inside the Sabacro, they can select the images, they can write the caption, they can schedule it across all the platforms. That's the one goal. Because if you just take most of the agency, they would like to share the design works. So it's kind of it's kind of really good problem to solve, as well as yeah. Basically, that's all about my tech stacks. And yeah, so I am having some suggestions to books as well as so yeah, this is a book. This book is called User Stories. Okay, so basically what it does is, I think I'm not getting that. Let me open it. So these are all the books I'm just actually reading right now. So yeah, this one. It's actually opening from iCloud, so seems like okay. I think you guys should read this book called User Stories, which is pretty amazing. It just basically gives you an overall hierarchy. It's not kind of like a regular book where you will see 4 simple topics which is explained across like 400 to 500 pages. It's not like that. It's a very practical book where you can just if you just want to build software and application that helps user to complete their task and all those things, you can just use this thing. This is having storytelling. At the end, storytelling works. If you tell stories, then your product will be super duper hit. That's what Apple is exactly doing. They sell stories. They tell stories like whatever the products they make. They are not doing advertisement. They are just telling the stories basically. So this book is major example of that. Once you read all these things, you can just this is especially related to software development. You see the hierarchical backlogs and all the stuff. So they explained everything pretty well. See how you should interact with customer instead of being a you need to be like user centric instead of asking users which features you need, which features you want, something like that. You should stop that basically. You just need to be like user centric company where ask the user to use our product, and we need to sit from the sofa and see how our users are actually using this tool. If you see any problems like they are struggling hard to do certain tasks and something, that's the point you need to fix the UX. So this is my perspective. So this is the user-centric approach. A lot of MNCs, what they will use is they will schedule a call with customers, paying customer. They will ask what features you need and what are the features you are expecting in this platform. Most of the customers, they will say, I just want this, I just want to do this feature to do this magic. That's not going to work. So maybe we can just add it to our backlog. Maybe sometimes in future we can explore that. Instead of that, how we can just make sure that our existing system just works with this that liquidity flow, basically. So that's the thing. This book is especially covers with the storytelling. So at the end, people love this keep it simple, stupid principle. Basically, nobody wants to nobody just wants to do complex tasks, clicking multiple buttons, clicking all these things. Yeah, that's what we are having this Google sign in, GitHub sign in, single signing step, passwordless auth is there. So these are like a small user experience where we can have. So yeah, you just need to focus more on user centric, and you need to keep your user center, and you need to watch how he or she is using the product. So if they are struggling, then just try to improve that flow. Just do some things. Just reduce the number of steps. Just make it super clean. Just showcase the data in a better manner. Something like that. So that's the thing. Okay, so I came to the conclusion. So I just plan to make this Avogro as an open source. So I would like to see how other developers are coming up with this new approaches and making it as a good thing. So basically, from landing page to blogs to the entire client side application, all will be open source. Yeah, this is what I have planned. It's always good to contribute back to the community. So I have almost worked for this product for almost around like 6 to 7 months, I think, day and night, carefully crafting each and every experience, every flows, from the small minor details to. So yeah, it's kind of see. So basically what I will do is I will just set up the donations as well as things. So also I'm just planning to share it across Reddit, Hacker News, and a lot of other stuffs. So yeah, this is one thing. And also I'm just looking forward to collaborate with any developers, basically because I'm just too bored to working on multiple projects, basically jumping iOS development, Android development, web development, all those things. So it's kind of like really boring. So I'm just working on a new product, basically that is also open source. It's called maybe thumbnails test, basically like this. So probably by name you can able to see what I'm just trying to do. Basically you will just log in with your YouTube account, and after that you can able to that will display all the videos out there. And now you need to select any of the video, like let's say for this video I'm going to select this video, okay, and I will just change the title. I'm going to run the A/B testing at which thumbnail and which title I'm getting huge traction, huge number of retentions and huge number of clicks. So let's say, so I'm just selecting this video, I'm going to change the title, and for week 1 I'm going to run this video with this particular title, okay. After week 2 I'm going to change the title, change the thumbnail, and I'm going to run the test. After week 3, week 4, like this. After completing this entire test, you can able to come to the dashboard and able to see all the details about which week and which thumbnail performed really well. So very super simple concept. It is having huge potential in the market right now, especially on the YouTube space. I'm also really starting to explore the space. Like imagine that okay, let's go to the Figma and see, this is the thumbnail which I initially add. I can just run this thing. So this is having better contrast, and this is this robot is not visible, but if you just come and see, this color is attracting, and this is having this robot having this red eye which is matching with this thing, and it is giving the nice contrast. Yeah, this is thing. Now in this space it is clearly visible compared to this, and this robot and this context is getting lost, so it is not visually aesthetically good. This is good. Black and this sand color really works well, but I'm not sure about this particular block will work here. Orange works fine, but still this blue won't work here. So basically like this. So you can just download this template thumbnails, and you can just add a number of thumbnails. Basically you would just suggest 2 or 3 basically, and you need to run this process for 1 week or else 3 days or 1 week or 2 weeks. Maximum 2 weeks is enough, and you will be able to get the results. And like what is the click-through rate on this particular date. Simple technology, we are going to use Postgres. So I already have this project ready, A/B test thumbnail, which is going to be an open source. This is not a paid one. So I just set up all these things, the backends and all the stuffs. Basically it is perfectly working for my some private channel which I'm used to checking right now. So it is actually working, basically super cool. I have done everything. So I'm basically, trying to polish this app. So that's what I'm just trying to do. Okay, it's been very long time. Just let me check the chat. Make it as an open source chat for hosting. Any other questions? Any other doubts regarding this YouTube A/B test thumbnail? Basically, the product which I have shown to you. Do you have any feedback for that approach? If you are a YouTuber, then it's welcome. Any questions? So yeah, so basically 3 projects in pipeline. One is Avogadro, the second one is A/B test thumbnail. That is also a thing. So yeah, so probably I will just launch the Avogadro most probably by next week if I get the access to this production API from Meta for Instagram and Facebook. Then we are good to go. So you can just publish reels and all those things. Yeah, basically that's it. And yeah, so also this thing. And so I used almost GPT-3 to generate copywriting. Basically, if you just come here, all the change logs have been generated with GPT-3. You can just view the change log. It's been a very long time. You see, last July is the date I just updated the change log. So basically, yeah, each and every small things really makes sense. You can just if you just come back and see, if I just type avogadro.com, we have a cool regex to automatically call this to scrap the metadata. It is happening in a matter of seconds. Okay, so and I just publish change log. We are just adding a debounce and it will just triggering this thing. If I just don't need this preview, I can simply do this. Yeah, lot of interesting stuffs this code base is having. So I'm just making sure that everything is polished and very easy to get started for beginners. Yeah, so basically, yeah, you can just also, it is coming up with a lot of tons of shortcuts. You don't need even to use mouse to navigate. So you can just use this thing on production. So that's the thing. So if you just want to add any specific thing or any specific problem that you are struggling on social media, just feel free to drop me a DM on Twitter so that I can just take a look at that, whether it's worth solving or not. So yeah, basically I'm just building all these tools for solving my own problems. Also the people like me who like to to break this barrier on the internet. So to have this consistency, to post on regular basis, to post. People are lazy. Even I'm lazy to post, going to each and every platform to post social media posts and doing some keyword research, rewriting the entire sentence. It's very time consuming, I think. So that's why I just created this thing. Also for my agency, I just created this tool. So this UX is my agency. So for doing cold DMs and all, so I just I just wanted some tool. I don't want to pay for any other tools because that does only one job really well, and the amount of price they are asking is $19 to $20. Why should I pay huge amount of money when you are capable of building things and making it as an open source, or enjoy the process of building your own start a product from scratch. So yeah, basically that's the thing. That's why it's started like this. So basically, and yeah, so yeah, basically, so this is my next open source project. Basically, the alternative, or competitor, whatever you call, it's going to be have this unique user experience where you just come and upload the YouTube, just connect your YouTube account, just do A/B testing with your thumbnails and titles. That's it. If you are still wondering that is this really makes sense or not, just imagine that when is the last time you just clicked on this video? People are just clicking the video by the thumbnail 90% of the time, not by titles or anything else. So they are clicking on by the thumbnail, they're clicking seeing the output, so they're seeing something visually there. So that's making, so if you just go and see this this guy, where attach him, I think, yeah, this guy is coming up with this very attractive thumbnails. It is making us curious to see. Click on this video. You see how dangerous is a penny dropped from a skyscraper. This is a thumbnail. You see, he added this. And one of my favorite thumbnail is he's sitting in the middle of the lake and he's just putting all the black balls. Not this one. Yeah, this one. You see, this is interesting. If you just see the thumbnail of this video. Oops, I think. I think the thumbnail of this video is it's really great. Not sure where it went. Yeah, so basically that's what I'm just trying to say. People do judge a book by its cover. So a lot of people will just click on this video by blindly seeing the cover image. And yeah, you see, this is one of my most favorite YouTube thumbnail. It's just making you curious, and this title is working well. Super simple. He's sitting and he's just showing the proof of what he's doing there. Yeah. So this guys also, I'm just a fan of this Vox Media. Basically, they come up with very unique thumbnails across each and every video. If you just see, lower success rate, left side 63%, 74% on the right side. Simple one-liner title. They have this percentage, they have this arrow indicating marking. So this is the famous way to good way to get traction. You see, they got a huge traction. Lot of other things like, you see, the visuals are just telling the stories here. So yeah, maybe if everything works well, maybe we can just use stable diffusion to generate the preview image for thumbnail image for the YouTube video. So they can basically select from this platform itself. So that's the thing. So this is having a huge potential. I just want this to be an open source, and people are just spending tons of money on these tools also. So just make it as an open source and just collapse the market. So that's my strategy. So just make any product and make it as an open source like Supabase. So it's a Firebase killer. So they literally advertise that platform as we are this Firebase alternative. Now they are doing much more than the Firebase. Okay, so basically they have this powerful Postgres, and they have this good TypeScript support, and they have this real-time APIs. They have this bucket storage. They have this good authentication system for all the platforms, all the SSOs. They have this passwordless login, everything. Okay, so yeah, and it's an open source. You can just clone the Supabase Studio, and you can just set up the Docker Supabase Studio. It's an open source, so you can just download that entire thing, and you can just run your own Supabase. But it is actually cost you more than you actually pay for your monthly database if you are just running a small scale project. So I think that's not a good idea. But yeah, these kind of tools this is very simple to write. This can be, we can just simply host it. Just change the environmental variable of Postgres portion URL and just change a bunch of environmental keys, and then we are good to go. We can just host it to Vessel on a single click, and we can just, we have our own data, and also we can just able to do additional customization if it is an open source. And yeah, so let's change why Supabase literally changed open source software should only have this bad designs. They focus only on the tech side. If you just go and use Supabase, the UI is pretty good because they have this paid version. So they are basically making money, so they have good developers to work on the UI. So we can just change that. So just make a good UI, good UX, just make it as an open source, just post it online, let the people use, and yeah, that's it. So they will automatically, start doing the contributions if they are really passionate enough to work on this technology stack. Yeah, they will do that. That's how most of the people will do. Yeah, so let's back to the chat. Okay, so I'm not sure. I think it's time to wind up my streaming. I think. Okay, let's wind up the stream. Anything else? If nothing else, we can just get rid of this stream. Just close. I think that's it. Okay, cool. Thank you so much for watching my stream, and until next time, we can just start working on the real app instead of just talking about the things. So I think I can just continue working on my Abagrow as well as this thumbnail test as an open source to create the video series about it, so that people can know what's behind this product, so that I can also have something to share to the people. Cool. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the members who are just came and saw this stream. Thank you so much. See you next time. Thank you.